Good morning, good evening. January 20th, Megan Mitchell here. And it is still very cold. I am still bundled up. I apologize for that, but I wanted to share some thoughts with you that I came across that I think are very appropriate for our current phase and just for us all to remember in general in our journey in Victory with Ash. And this is all about the difference between availability and being intentional. Sometimes we think that we need to be available all the time, but those who win at life and at business are not always the most available. What do I mean by that? I don't mean that we shouldn't be available for people, but I think we have to be very careful about being intentional about it. Because availability teaches people how to value us. If we're available all the time for everyone, for every message, for every question, for everything, sometimes people stop respecting our time. And unfortunately, scarcity creates value. We know that people don't always value what they have access to at all times. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that every yes is stealing from something important. So we have to think very carefully about whether we want to say yes to something and about whether or not it is going to steal from something else that is very important. The third part is being liked can sometimes be expensive. It's costly. We all want to be liked, but we don't always need to be liked in order to be effective. And it can be costly to trade being liked for being effective in business and in our personal lives. Number 4, you can't build anything meaningful when you're distracted. I think that we need to remember that Ash is building something meaningful for us, and constantly coming on and, making just hellos and coming on just to check in with us is a distraction. And we want him to be fully focused on the future that he's building for us. Number 5, people can confuse kindness with weakness. We all see this. Unfortunately, if you're too kind and you're too available, sometimes people see that as a weakness and will take advantage of us. Number 6, your future needs protection, not explanation. You don't need to explain every decision you make. Sometimes the decisions that we make are difficult. We've seen this in Victory with Ash. Some of the decisions that Ash has made were difficult, and we don't need to explain every decision that we make that's best for us and best for our lives. And then lastly, very importantly, no is a filter for those who are serious. If someone's serious about being involved in, the journey with us or being involved in the journey with Victory with Ash, they will respect the boundaries that are set up, which means that we don't always get information when we want it. We don't always get feedback at the time we want it. And what happens is naturally, those who are not aligned with the journey will fall off. Those who are not aligned with what you're trying to do in life will fall off naturally when you set boundaries. And that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. So I hope this is something that you think about, not in a way to be negative or to be, to say that you shouldn't interact with people or that you shouldn't be there for people, but just to be very conscious of your time and of your availability and to be intentional. I think that we need to remember that Ash is being intentional. And if he is silent is not the same thing as absence. This is very important to remember. He is being intentional about what he is doing and what he is saying and not saying. And we need to remember that that's probably for a very good reason. So have a blessed Tuesday.